this next guest that we have. He was introduced to me by our CRD manager, Ronnie Archer, and I've had some moments in speaking with him, but I really don't want to take from any of that, Robert. He has got a great story. He's a very powerful speaker, and there's a lot that comes behind what he speaks and where his motivation and his drive comes from. I want you to know I appreciate you, Robert. He is a speaker, author, and marketer, so if you would join me in welcoming Robert Reed.
Thank you. Appreciate that. First of all, thank Doug for having me here. Thank Ronnie Archer, and thank you, Pamela, for inviting me here. I appreciate that. First thing I want to let everyone know is that there's power in this room, and I don't mean the electricity. I mean there's power in this room, especially with the graduates here. There was a great Indian chief, and he got his grandson, and he said, "Grandson, let me talk to you for a second." And he sat down with his grandson, and he began to speak to him. He said, "There's two wolves inside of me. On the one hand, there's a wolf. He's a predator. You know, he's evil. He's bad. He's compulsive. He has addiction." And he said, "And on the other hand, there's a good wolf. He's a protector. He's a provider. He's good. He's kind. He's benevolent." And then the grandson looked up at him, and he said, "Grandfather, who's going to win?" And the grandfather looked down at him and he said, "The one I feed." See, all of life, it really comes down to which wolf that we're going to feed. It's about choices, and life is just a series of choices. And that power is in the room right now. You have true power. That power is the power to choose. And that's what these graduates did a couple of years ago. They chose. They exercised that. That was very powerful. In my life, there are two people who exercised the exact same power. Okay? One was my mother, and the other was an ex-wife I'm still very close with. Now, first was my mother. It was 10 years of struggling with addiction. 10 years of that. 10 years of feeding a bad wolf. 10 years of stealing, for drugs. It was 10 years of being absent for weeks at a time. 10 years of pawning everything that she could. 10 years of waking up and not knowing what day it was. But she began to feed the good wolf. She exercised her power to choose. She began to choose to be a mother again. That's a choice she made. She decided to choose to go back and be a paralegal. She chose to see her grandkids. These are the choices that she decided to make. She chose to know her Heavenly Father before she later went to see Him. Now, my wife, on the other hand, she had the exact same story. She had the exact same, it resembled my mother's own, except for it was about 4 years, and it happened before she actually met me. Same thing. Not knowing what day it was and just doing things that obviously she would not do today. But then she chose to feed the good wolf. And she began to choose to take control of her life. She chose to marry me. She chose to give me a son. She chose to go back to school. She chose to become a teacher. She's a teacher today. And she also chose to establish a relationship with her Heavenly Father. That's the power of choice. That's the same power that's exercised right now in this room. And I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to see that. I feel that energy. I feel that conviction in your heart. That's why it's near and dear to me because of my own personal story. They both meant a lot to me. They both still mean a lot to me. And when I look at the graduates here, I feel that energy emanate from them. And also the support that's out here. These guys feel it, and they know it, they love it, they need it to go on. But there is another power in the room. There's some other power there that you can use. There's two more. One is the power of your faith. That's another power that we all have, that we all exercise. The power of your faith. See, we are limited people, but whom you serve is unlimited. We're people with limited knowledge, but whom you serve has unlimited knowledge. We're also people have limited power, but whom we serve is all powerful. That's the power of our faith. The second power I want to tell you about is the power of your character. We're all familiar with the GPS system, right? Okay? Now, GPS system, real neat device. I bought one. It's real neat. And what you do is you simply plug in coordinates. You put in a street, city, state, zip code, and all of a sudden it starts mapping out your direction. It'll give you turn-by-turn direction of where you want to go. Okay? And what will happen if you miss your turn? It'll recalculate. It'll tell you to take the next right or left or a U-turn to get you back on track of where you want to go and where you want to be, back to your destination. Well, I can tell you that character works the same way. Your GPS system is your global positioning system. I say your character is your destiny positioning system. Okay? It's your DPS system. And you might be saying, well, Robert, how does that work like a GPS system? Well, quite simple. Mind your thoughts before they become your words. Mind your words because they become your actions. Mind your actions because they become your habits. And mind your habits because they become your character. And from your character, you get your destiny. Now, first with your thoughts. See, we move in the direction of our dominant thoughts. So I know today you guys have some positive thoughts. You have a hopeful future that you're moving towards right now. Today is the evidence of that. Okay? And that leads to our words. Okay? Our words are spiritual capsules. We can speak life with our words. Life or death. It depends on which direction you want to go in. And the direction you want to go in is evident. You're here. You graduated. And that's awesome. From your words, your actions. See, if your thoughts determine what you want, then your actions determine what you get. And you guys are taking the right action. Now, from your action is your habits. Now, as far as habits are concerned, the good news about success is that it's just a habit. So continue to make these positive, powerful choices. Just keep making these choices. And from there, you input all that into your character. I like what Ralph Waldo Emerson said. He said that nature magically suits a man by making it the fruit of his character. So that hopeful future that you're looking for, it's in your character. It's going to come from you. Life is not going to happen to you anymore. It's going to happen from you. And that's how you get your destiny. That's how your character works. I can go on with that. But when you leave this facility today, I want you to use your power and claim your destiny. I'm Robert. Thank you.
That is some good stuff, isn't it? Thank you, Robert. Well, I guess it's coming up to that time. Yeah, I think it's about that time, guys. But you know the big deal with the woohoo, right? You got it? Okay.